Good morning, guys. Good morning. And I am so glad that you are here with me. Well, listen, I wanted to reach in today. I had asked about 2 weeks ago, what are some of the things that you all would like to hear me talk about in terms of things that you really want help with within this chosen one's spiritual conscious community. Okay. And the one thing that poked out the most was attracting things. The second thing was like the book group. The third thing was maybe doing some lives on what we encounter as chosen ones and how to deal with it. And then the fourth thing was like talking about love from a positive angle. So I wanted to really tap in on attraction since that was the one that was like I saw more of that. Okay. Now I want to give you 7 basics, 7 traits, or 7 ways. That's the word I'm looking for. 7 ways for you to attract things into your experience. The first thing is that I want you to understand that this is a spiritual conscious community, which means that I'm going to cover a broad basis of things. I love God. I love some Bible. But I am a thought teacher. That's what God called me here to do. So I don't want you to get confused with teaching science of the mind from a thought teacher's approach and then what God is about, because God is all of it. Any information that you get comes from Him. Okay. So I just want to go ahead and make this whole formal disclosure because I want everybody to really understand. So when it comes to attraction, I want you to understand that you are an electromagnetic being. And what does that mean? That means that on the inside of you, there is frequency. How do we know? Because it's scientific research that has been able to prove that that's what you are. This is not something that we're saying that we're taking something, hitting it up against a wall and we hope that it sticks. This is a fact-based piece of information. Secondly, I want you to understand that when you go to a doctor, what do they do when you go into the hospital? They hook you up to a monitor. A monitor is picking up what on the inside of you? Frequency. A frequency will show you what? It will give you a display of your heartbeat. And it comes off through that frequency and it will give you numbers. Okay. When you're having a baby, they hook you up to a monitor to pick up your frequency. That monitor would display contractions on a graph that goes up and down so that you can see the magnitude of each contraction. So that right there, I want you to understand that you are electromagnetic energy and you have the power within yourself to connect to everything on the outside of you to pull it in to your experience and to push it through. I want you to understand that. First of all, that is the first thing that you need to understand, that everything in your life that you are experiencing it, believe it or not, it is something that was attracted into your experience. When I said last week, pay attention to energies, because if you allow energies in, it's something in you that will allow a specific energy into your experience. I want you to understand that there is a difference between attracting things and chasing things. I know I had somebody pop off at me and say, sister, a man is supposed to find you. You're not supposed to chase after man. I don't chase behind anybody. But I understand science enough to understand that through the powers of my subconscious mind, which God did give me, and information as a tile down that I can literally touch in this dimension right here. I understand as electromagnetic energy that I am a magnet and I can attract anything I want, including a man, into my experience. And I never chase. I always attract. So I just want to go ahead and clarify that. I ain't thirsty. We don't chase things. We attract them through our frequency. So I want to give you 7 ways that you can attract love into your experience, because this is the first one that I heard. But you can apply this to anything that you want to attract, whether it's good health, whether it's money, or what have you, whatever it is that you want to attract. The first thing is I want you to understand that in order for you to attract love into your experience, you have to be anchored in love yourself. You have to be anchored in love yourself. You can't attract love into your experience if you hate your neighbor. You can't attract love into your experience if you hate parts of yourself. You cannot attract love to your experience if you hate anybody. You have to understand that the baseline to you attracting similar energy into your experience is love. You have to work on your self-love practices and look at all the things that are loving about you and the things that are showing up in your life that you don't like, or things about yourself that you are not in agreement with. You have to give yourself some grace in that area, okay? And then love yourself anyway on through it. Okay, so the second key to attracting love into your experience is to have a fulfilled life. We have to understand that our life should be full and colorful, independent of attracting someone into our experience to share our lives with us. You don't want to attract somebody into your life and you're just holding on to them for dear life. You'll run them away and choke them to death. But when you have a filled life on your own, you're able to attract someone into your experience and share space with somebody. So if you don't know how to fulfill your life, then you need to start digging on the inside of yourself and finding ways to fulfill your life. What is it that that you really like to do? Do you like to work out? Do you like writing? Do you like singing? Do you like working in your community? These are questions that you can ask God in your secret time, and He will begin to give you answers. So you want to have a life that is already fulfilled, okay? So that part of your life, God has already occupied that space and you're not needy. The third thing, what are you doing to radiate love in your experience? Are you doing what you really love to do? See, because a lot of times we put off what we really love to do. You know, we put that off. Oh, well, when I get this paid, or oh, when I get that paid. Look, I know that when it comes to certain things that we want to do, it does take money. But you can't tell me that it's not some things that you can do that doesn't take money to where you can feel this whole love frequency on your own, because that will go out into the atmosphere and it will just bring about not only someone to share space that love you, but just loving experiences in general. All right, so let's go to the fourth key. Your daily spiritual practices will solidify your attraction to the right one. Your daily spiritual practices. Do you pray? Are you doing your meditations? Are you writing in your journal? Whatever that spiritual practice is, it has to be something that is consistently done in your life. The fifth thing, have you written out the characteristic traits of the person that you want to attract in your experience? You know, the late Bob Proctor had like a graph where he, or a piece of paper where he wrote in the middle, like a bubble, and it said specific person. And then out to the side, he drew like little lines, and outside of those lines, other little bubbles. And he filled in key traits that he wanted to attract. So you want to write down the traits, characteristic wise, that you want to attract and become the traits. Don't become them to win somebody over and fake it until you can make it. I don't believe in that. I believe in, if that's what you want to attract, being that you know that you are electromagnetic energy, then you need to already become the list yourself. All right. And I want you to understand that you need to spiritually spend time talking to the person already. You need to spiritually feel the person that you are attracting. You need to have conversations. You need to have that side of the bed for them. You need to maybe clean your closet out and make room for them. You need to be able to ride up the streets and have a full-fledged conversation the way that you would if the person was sitting with you. You need to feel their energy already. You need to feel their frequency already before they physically show up. So if you spiritually feel, then you will physically see. All right. And then I want you to, the final thing I would say when it comes to attracting love, because we're dealing with very intelligent people as chosen ones. We're all intelligent, right? So it will only be befitting for you to attract another chosen one, right? So chosen ones, as you know, because you're one, we're very intelligent people. So I would suggest educating yourself in the 5 love languages that people speak, so that when you attract your person, you'll be able to identify their love language. And I think it's also important to educate yourself in people's attachment styles that they have when it comes to relationships. And there are some books that I already have that I've read in both of those categories. I didn't bring them today, but I will bring them. All right. So those are the keys to attracting the man or the woman that you want into your experience. And I just want to go and just point out 4 things that you don't want to do when you are attracting your person. Okay. The first thing, never chase anybody. Never chase, because when a person feels you chasing them, they run away. You want people to have a magnetic pull towards you, an attraction towards you. So don't do that. The second thing, don't obsess over your person. Because one thing about it, when you know you got it, you got it. You don't have to fret. You don't have to be worried. You don't have to, oh my God, when did they come and all that? You don't have to do it, because they're already with you spiritually. They're already with you. So you can release the resistance, let go, and don't obsess. I want you to understand that if they're not with you right now, and you are feeling grief or sadness or depression or anxiety, then that's why they're not with you. You have to understand that if that is what you're feeling because you do not have a significant other, that there is something deeper going on with you that you need to really figure out about yourself. Because no person can come into your life and save you from depression and feeling down. Because once the person gets there, they're never going to be able to fix that part about yourself. That is something that you have to understand, that you have to fix. So you need to ask yourself, am I depressed? Am I, sad? Am I feeling grief because I'm not with someone? And if the answer is yes, you still have some healing to do before you attract someone. And the final thing I want to say is, when it comes to attracting someone into your experience, you do not want to focus on them too much. Because anytime you're focusing all your energy on somebody too much, they feel that and they don't want you. Okay. So what you want to do is you want to find a healthy balance to all of that. I hope this answers some great questions. If you have more questions about attracting love into your experience, please let me know down in the comments. And for those of you who are single, I would love to hear some of the characteristic traits that you would like to have your person to have, or some of the things that you have found in your journey that can help someone else that is attracting love. Because after all, we are one big chosen one family, and I'm pretty sure that you have information as well that can help all of us. And until the next video, guys, peace, because I still believe in you. Bye now.